Hey gang, welcome back to Zero's Hobbies and thank you for stopping by. It's Thanksgiving and I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you all are with your family and enjoying your time together. I want to just say that I am very, very thankful for the life that I've been given and for the extra opportunities with that life that I've been given and the blessings that I've been given with my new lungs. And I hope that you all are having a great day and a great year. You know I have. It's been a struggle. It's been an uphill climb since, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm still here. I'm able to talk to you guys. I'm able to have my family with me, and it's been great. So November's been very busy. We've had a lot of things go on in the house. I've been doing a lot of stuff. We've had our vents cleaned, so I had to reorganize my whole room or my whole workspace, which was great because I was able to put everything where I wanted to put it. But nonetheless, let's get to the hobbing, which I was able to do this week. I was able to get some stuff primed and based and painted, and just got orc bases and some orc forts and stuff like that. So let's take a look at everything that we've got, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. All right, thank you. Hey guys, sorry for the shaky cam, but I kind of wanted to just show you really quick how I go from one of these, which is my my orc buggy bases, to something like this, which is basically cork, but I set it up so that the buggy can sit here and look like it's going up some slope. You know what I mean? You can set it however you want. But yeah, something like that, or something even like this. This is my trike base, and you've got cracks, some sand. I've got a dead space marine squished into the ground there. Looks like a space wolf. I don't know, whatever. Some more potholes, some little skulls, stuff like that. Just little things, to make a base for these guys, because I didn't know what to do with them, so I wanted to kind of like, do something. So I'm going to show you real quick, as quick as I can with one hand. Okay, so you're going to need glue. You could use super glue, but I find it super glue because I don't use Zap-A-Gap anymore, just because of the bottle design, and it dries out way too fast. It is nice and thick, so it does sit a while, but this is almost as good. You just have to be patient with it. So what I'll do is I'll take this. I'm sorry, you need glue, you need your X-Acto knife, a good pen, a decent pen that'll write almost on anything. Not a marker pen or like a fine tip pen. You want a rollerball pen, because rollerball pens, they'll sink a line in, but they won't tear the cork. So what you also need is, you're going to need a roll of cork. You can get this on Amazon for like super. You can go to Michael's and get it even cheaper. But if you go to Amazon, if you can't go to Michael's, sometimes I can't because the crowd. But if you go to Amazon, you can get this for like $5 or something like that. It's probably cheaper than that even, but So you're going to need that. You're going to need an sharp X-Acto or decent size X-Acto to cut. And you're going to need a pair of scissors to cut. You could use your X-Acto to cut it out of the foam or the cork, but if you use X-Actos, you know how easy it is to slip and whatever. Not that it matters, because I'll show you why, but I would suggest using scissors. Okay, so what you're gonna do, and I've already done the drawing so you guys can see. You're gonna take your base. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. You're going to take your base, you put the foam down, take your base, do the rough side. There's a rough side to a foam or the cork and a smooth side. This is the smooth side. This is the rough side. You want the rough side to go down because it gives it something to hold on to the base. So you take your base, you see there, you take your pen and you just draw around it. It doesn't need to be accurate. You could actually just draw around. You could even just put the fat rim down
and just draw it that way. I'm starting to feel like this is probably a lot better because it gives you more cork, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So you're going to end up with something like this. And you see how uneven it is and how it's not even center. It's like it moved over a little bit. Now, if you notice, this cork is rolled, okay? When it comes out of off the roll, it's going to stay curved, all right? So you're going to need a heavy book. Fortunately, we have the Leviathan book to help us with that, because this is like a huge heavy book. I also have a clipboard with some paper on there. Not that that was necessary. I just didn't want any glue to hit the book. So I got this plastic clipboard just in case there's any glue. So what you're going to do, once you have this glued down, okay, you put your glue, just get it in a nice pattern. You don't have to go to the very edge, or I mean, if it hangs over, you can if you want to, but you go all the way to the edge, and then what you do is you take your finger and you start tearing the foam, or the cork. I call it foam because it feels like, but it's cork. It's cork. You tear the cork. You just tear it irregularly. You don't have to. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to do any of that stuff. And this way of, you could do this to, like, you could increase it by adding more cork layers and have it a higher base, or not. I'm trying to do roads, like busted up roads, the Fury Road, because I want my orcs vehicles to be on the road. I'm building a speedway, and I really want them to be on the road. But you see here, you can take off as much as you want, or as little, okay? You can do that. You see, the front didn't glue down so much. That's okay. Or the back. You can use it as the back. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Okay? Boom. Look at that. Nice broken up road. Okay? I could do further if I want to, but you know what? This is cool. This will work. And then I got all these giblies of foam core. God dang it. I apologize. Cork. It's cork. You could use foam, I guess. But this is cork, John. It's cork. So I have a baggie. I keep a Ziploc baggie, like a snack bag. And I just throw all the chunks of cork in there. And the really fine bits, I'll throw in like I have a batch of urban sand or urban rubble mix. So I'll throw the fine stuff in there, just to kind of save it for later, because you never know. At first, I used to cut this out. I used to use the cork and then cut and throw the rest away. I was like, dude, I'm wasting cork. So what you should end up with, if you want to, is something like this. Okay, so now I cracked the cork. Okay, I used a pen, right? You could see I used the pen. Even though it was cut, I still wanted to tear it off because I wanted to represent a huge crack in the road. Okay, now I can glue these as close together as I want or as far apart as I want, but you'll get, once they flatten out, you'll get a nice visual road bed, right? This is a simple one. This is plain. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is a nice visual effect. Now the buggies are kind of big. They're a lot bigger than I expected them to be, so you're not going to see a lot of that stuff. So I recommend not putting a lot of effort in the center of the base if it's a buggy. Not putting a lot of effort in the center of the base and more towards the outsides, just to kind of, give some visual attention to the base. You don't want the base to be so elaborate. If you're building a diorama base, meaning I'm painting this for Golden Demon or something, or just because I want to sit it on the shelf and it's a good looking model and I don't plan on playing with it, that's fine. Detail it up. Do whatever you got to do. I've seen flying cars. I've seen cars jumping. I saw a shock jump dragster coming coming down like this, and behind it they used a Dragon Ball Z energy charger thing. Those clear acrylic energy charge things, and they put it on there, and it looked like it was coming out of the teleport, the void or whatever. Which I thought was pretty cool. I was like, that's some pretty cool ideas. but it's not practical for a game piece, and I want to use these in a game. So once this is done, what I will do is I will start to decide what effects I'm going to have on the road. Like I said, I got the cracks for that one. I've got some little cracks for this one, kind of a little hole, but I actually used the hole that I dug out to plant a Space Marine helmet, okay? Because it's always good to have some of those little bits. And you got tons of these. If you've got Primaris guys, you got a ton of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Little skulls. Now that's a 3D printed skull. That someone sent me a bunch of them. And this is a 3D printed Space Marine. Again, I think it's a Space Wolf because he got a battle axe. But I could be wrong. I mean, it could be whatever. But he was flattened the way it came. It was flattened, and it's a FDM print, as you can see. So it's really not that detailed, but it's detailed enough that when I put the trike on it, you see, you put that on there, and he's gonna sit right up on top of that. You know what I mean? Like you'll see it when it's built. I don't have the wheels on it right now, but you'll see when it's built, it's going to sit right up there. And people are going to be like, whoa, is that Space Marine under there? And it's a talking point, but not to the point where it obscures the model or draws away from the model. Because you don't want, if you're building regular bases to play games with, you don't need all those danglies and biddies. And sure, you could do it, but you got to deal with the headache of like, the after, you know what I mean? Like you putting your models away. Will that diorama base fit in a box? Are you going to have to magnetize your models because you got to take them off of the base? That kind of thing. So I would just recommend just being cautious and, just be, conscious of what you're using it for. But there you go. That's it pretty much. And then, so, okay, the real last thing. I'm going to use, so I have, as you see, I have sand in there. Okay, I glued down some sand. I even glued some sand in the cracks. It's really hard to see, but it makes it easier to paint. But also, I'm going to use some Grelin earth on some of the parts here because I really want an arid desert. So I want it to be cracked and, gnarly. You know what I mean? But not like this kind of crack. I just want the little tiny, tiny, tiny cracks. I don't know how it's going to work on the cork. So my plan is to use the glue again, a watered down mixture of PVA or Elmer's glue. You can use PVA. They call it PVA in the other, some places it's just freaking white glue or wood glue, whatever you want to use. Works great. The white glue is easier to mix with water. Wood glue is a little thicker, so you're going to have to use a different volume. But I feel like you could probably do 50-50 and make a nice sealer for this to make it to coat the model, to coat the base before you put the model on, so that when they're handling, when people are like, yo, is that a Space Marine? Oh man, that's tight. Because a lot of people don't pick up the model from the base. They pick it up from the base or from the model. So when they pick it up, the base will be durable. It will be, and I can play with this for hours and not have to worry about it like, oh, I lost pieces from my base. You know what I'm saying? Which I've done. Not knowing, I didn't know that you had to, or you could seal them, and I did. You could use Mod Podge too. Or you can make your own mix of Mod Podge, because it's just glue, water, and paint, or whatever, glue and water. Again, it's pretty much the same, depending on how much thickness you want. But there you go. And I'll probably do a follow-up with all these models, with all these bases done. All right, so still a work in progress, but almost everything is done on this guy. I just did the lens with some hard coat. Looking pretty sharp, in my opinion. I mean, in my humble opinion. I think I could have done better on the dots on the eyes. I probably should have went a little bigger. But, it is what it is. It's done. It's covered. And I dry brushed the skull with a couple colors. He's got some damage there. I'm probably going to put some wash on that so this sticks out even more. So it looks cool. It looks like, you know what I mean? Like battle damage somehow. But anyway, yeah, I dry brushed the skull. I had to retouch up some spots, so I added some pink. And then I put the Imperial Fist contrast over that. Something in the corners here I blended in. I had red, but then I blended in some pink when I was doing touch-ups, and then I just went over it with the yellow, and it made a nice shaded orange, So I still got a little... I'm on the fence, okay? should I weather this? I mean, it's a Dead Space Marine, right? Should I put some rust on there, or dried blood, or maybe some alien blood or something? But I don't know. I kind of feel like this is good, but I also kind of feel like I could probably do a little bit more. So I'll leave that up to you guys. In the comments, you guys can just let me know what you think, and if it's something I should mess with or just let it be. But there you go. Okay, so I decided to work a little bit more on the 40K orc buggies bases, and so I laid down a coat of blood red, or Blood Angels red contrast, to give on all the flat areas, so that when I lay down, I can lay down the ard coat or the gloss coat, and then the crackle medium, so it'll have something underneath to show through the cracks. And I wanted a nice deep red color, because obviously they're going to be more like that. But I got some new crackle paint, and I wanted to try it out. And I've never used this stuff before, but it's from AK Interactive, Light and Dry Crackle Effect. And I gotta say, the GW bottle is almost 10 bucks. It's like 8 something and some change. And this was like 12 bucks shipped from Amazon. Look at the size of this pot, man. Look at that. Look at the size of this pot. So I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun. A lot of people are using this, so I'm gonna try and use it and see how it comes out. Now I'll let you guys know. Hey guys, wanted to show you. Every time I go to work, or every time I'm not go to work, I work at the table, my cellmate decides to join me, and he's just got to be up here watching what I'm doing. I don't know if he wants to craft stuff, or he wants to paint stuff, or just drink my water, my paint water. But this is Riku. This is the Bandit. This is Senor Mustache. When he was a little one, he had a huge, like his lip was like, it looked like a giant mustache, you know. But he grew out of it. He's an elder now. He's 15 years old. So in cat years, he's a senior citizen. But yeah, that's my little sidekick. Now he's being shy to the camera. Say hi, buddy. Say hi. Look, it's you. Yeah, that's you. Oh, look at that, huh? What? You're investigating? All right, guys. This was just a little side thing I did. I had picked up 2 paint caddies on Amazon. They were just 3D printed paint caddies. I didn't need anything fancy. It doesn't have to do the spinner or anything. It would be cool though if it did, but whatever. So I got those, but each one of them came with 2 of these. They're just little paint pot holders, you know, and they fit the GW paints, and they look like little Space Marine drop pods. So these were the first 2 I got, and I had painted up, you know, this is an Imperial Fist color, and then the second one I did with Space Wolf color. And I'm gonna actually put you know, color in the some of the panels so that I can put decals on there. And then this one, which is one of the newer ones, I'm gonna do like a Salamander's army. I gotta still finish the ramps, and then this one will be Blood Angels. And again, I gotta finish the ramps. But I thought it was pretty cool, and you know, they were black. They were just like 3D printed black. I wish I could find the STL for these, because these are really cool, and they help. You know, I mean, when you're just doing like a quick paint thing, and you're not like using a paint palette, and you're just real quick out the bottle, dry brush or whatever, these are awesome because they hold the paint pot. You're good. But yeah, it's my fun little side project. All right, so I got the orange, Gryph-hound orange. It's such a, there it goes, Gryph-hound orange contrast, and I covered the rest of the ground on the bases. So you can see this is going to match all the other 2. Then I will be putting the ard coat on, the smooth surfaces, and then we'll get the crackle. All right, see you in a bit. So here I have this old Knight miniature. I want to say pre-Warhammer. This was like one of those sand table miniatures. I needed something really old. I wanted a pewter model, something really old, and you know, because the designs back then were just so much more interesting. They're not, the ones now aren't bad, but this was so much more interesting that they sculpted this and then pewtered it. You know what I'm saying? Made it into pewter. But this is a stand. It's going to be a statue for my stable, and I'm just prepping all the base colors. But I did the statue. I wanted to do bronze with some oxidization and a little bit of gold on top for just a little highlighting, you know. But he's going to sit on top of the stables, and I got to make a little plaque with the guy's name on it. This is Sir Eric McHollick. He saved he's the hero of Knockmere, which is the town, our fantasy town that or village. No, town, because it has a market. So yeah, we built a town, and this is the stable statue, but they put him on the statue, or on the stable. I think he's pretty cool. And I'm gonna put some, I think I'm gonna put some, I'll put some grass in here, or some flock. I'm gonna put a lot of flock in here, and then I'll probably see if I can get some, you know, those little tufts of like those little miniature tufts of grass, but there's some that have like flowers, so I'll probably put something like that in there. Maybe, we'll see. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'm still working on the buggy bases. Should be almost finished. I did all the Martian Iron Earth crackle paint. It's all right. I mean, it's really small cracks, but I was hoping for a little bit bigger cracks. But it's okay. I mean, when I dry brush it, which is the next step, you'll see it a little better. You know what I mean? But yeah, there was some that didn't take as well. But you know, it is what it is. I'm just gonna roll with it. Like this one has a lot on there. You know. And there we go with the spores and the mushrooms growing. Because, you know, orcs can grow anywhere. Here's another one. There's some nice... I laid that on really thick there, and they gave me some nice big chunks. You know what I mean? And this is where it's like super thin. And you can see. But I'm running out of... I'm pretty much almost out of all of my Martian Iron Earth. So I'm glad I got these done, at least. I still have one more bigger base to do, because I want to put my truck on a base. Just because, you know, I did dry brush those skulls, which I shouldn't have done because they still got to do all their work. But that's okay. I can always fix it and touch it up. But yeah, they're almost all done. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, just wanted to show you guys this backdrop I got. A really good friend of mine from Elysium Prints. And look at that, beautiful cherry blossoms. The colors are real vibrant. So what he is a printing company. And he does all kinds of stuff, buttons, banners, shirts, all kinds of iron-on stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is a decal. So he printed out huge decal for me because I needed just something to sit on my desk when I do my videos. You know, when I do my reviews, these are the backgrounds that are usually there. This is just one of several that he sent me to try out. Hang on, I'll show you. He sent me this one. This is the one I use most commonly, especially for a 40K, just because it's like an apocalyptic world. It looks like almost a chaos wheel there, but it just, and it's, I got the flat. I got him to do the flat because he did them. I have some in shiny, like a glossy finish, but I had some doing flat because you could see the light. You know what I mean? Kind of still reflects. So I try to have it as smooth as possible and as flat as possible so that you don't get much glare off of it. I mean, it still happens now and again, but you know. Also, I got this one, which is a really cool cemetery. See if you can. That's better. Very cool graveyard. And I'm going to use this for like fantasy miniatures, Dungeons and Dragons, things like that, you know, when I do reviews and stuff like that. And I just put it on a simple piece of foam board. And I'm cutting it now, which is what I'm doing, using my heavy ruler. And just cutting it down so it fits up against my paint rack and stuff like that. And yeah, I just wanted to show that to you. But again, like I said, he does a lot of great work. He's based out in Florida. It's called Elysium Prints. I can try to put, if I remember, I'll put the description. I'll put his links in the description. But yeah, if you need, he can do car vinyl, decals. He can do anything that a printer can do, and it's just amazing, the work. And he's really good about getting it to you quick. So, and he's done some professional work with banners and community, you know, projects and things like that. So yeah, man, if you get the chance, give him a holler, man, and tell him Zero sent you. He'll know who I am, and he'll he'll probably hook you up, you know. So all right guys, I just wanted to do a quick update on the truck base. I did a lot of stuff to it. I also made it so that the truck is actually careening off one wheel, you know, down the road. But this is just a mock-up because I got some of the pieces, the blue tack. But here's the base. I marked it. You can see I marked out where the truck was going to be. Added my bits, my skulls. This one's got the most skulls on the base. There's a little Terminator head. And I dug out this little trench for the wheels to dip into as the back wheels went over these sloped rocks here. And you can see it's still double tiered. But yeah, I think it's I believe it's ready for the crackle paint. And I'm going to use the AK Interactive crackle paint because it says it's really good over cork. So I'm really excited to see what turns out from that. So stay tuned. Okay, so just a quick little thing here. I built all the stuff, but as you can see, I had to add some plastic card, just a thin strip of plastic card under some of the pieces. This one especially, because this one, the ladder doesn't reach the floor and it stays wobbly. Like even with gluing, you see it moved a bit. So I had to put the plastic card to kind of keep it stable. These guys, I had to put the plastic card because where it suggested placing these beams really didn't have much of a glue connection point. So, you know, it just lended itself to falling apart easy. And I have to figure out a way, because you see these pieces are real wobbly. So I got to figure out a way to stabilize that without making a giant base, because they come together and, you know, make part of the fortress. Same thing with all the fortress parts. I had to put a little piece of plastic card down because you see the beams that they connect to didn't really leave a lot for gluing surface for these beams, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I guess you could do it without. I mean, I have not seen anybody on the interwebs say anything about it, but that's just, you know, for me, for my peace of mind. It feels like it's attached a bit more stable. And now, like I said, I just got to figure out these two pieces right here. All right. Okay, so here you can see I'm adding the green flock to the night base, so he can have some grass in there. So you see he's got a bunch of grass growing. I'm going to darken it up because it's going to be closer to winter time around this town. So I'm going to darken it up and add some tufts of grass also to kind of make it look like there's dead flowers there. But there you go. It's pretty cool. It's coming out all right. Just a fun little project, you know. Like I said, it's going to be on the stables, so It's just another interesting conversation piece. Sorry about that. All right, we'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, real quick, just wanted to show you I finally got the chance to use the AK Interactive Light and Dry Crackle effect. Now, I've never used this stuff. I've used the GW stuff, but I've never used this stuff on this scale. The GW ones that I used on the other bases were little by little, little patches, whereas this I kind of laid it in kind of thick right on top of the cork, because it said you're supposed to be able to put this on cork and it work. So we're gonna find out. It's starting to kind of crackle a little teeny bit, little bit, but I don't know if that's just part of the cork texture. Yeah, that there is the cork texture, I could tell, because I did lay that on super thin, but you can see here in the middle it's like a slip and slide. It's really wet, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to see something. I wanted to see, how much of a crackle we're gonna get, because if you look at the package, it shows you an example of what it's supposed to do or supposed to look like. So we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys up to date. All right, sit tight. Okay, guys, so I decided to go with bases for the Orc terrain, the Octarius terrain set. So I just basically drew around it and cut it so that so it would fit with the other pieces and still make, the fortress or whatever it was. And I'm sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. Come on. So they fit together. And then there's the small piece. Remember, I was saying that those little pieces were awkward, so I put a base on that too, and it fits. They all fit together nicely, so no big deal. You can see there. And then, so what I do is I got this. I had this a while back. I got this chipboard. It's like a thick cardboard, cardstock. But it's not just cardboard. It actually has it's chipboard. It's real thin. It's got like resin in it to keep all this stuff together. But anyway, as you can see, I drew I did the first two, and since the other two are exactly the same, all I did was lay them down, draw them out, and then I'm gonna be able to just cut it out real quick. I also this time drew a base for the oil rig, so that'll sit there, or sit it'll have a little base around it too. And I just wanted to protect these little fiddly bits, and like this one, the leg is just out there, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to have it so that it's not just flopping around, because it's already bending, because it's only glued right here. So yeah, that's where we're at with the scenery. All right, guys. Okay, so this is the base after the crackle, and then I just lightly sprayed it with some Xandri dust just to get my colors going. As you can see, it did crackle. They're smaller. I thought they were going to be bigger, but I mean, it is what it is. And it's nice because there's texture from the cork, so it gives it a kind of an uneven, not so flat look. And you can see this was just a little bit of mess up, but it's still okay. It covered it pretty good. And then on these stones, the same thing. So I mean, all in all, not terrible. I did lay it on pretty thick. I know you're supposed to do it a little uneven or whatever. You can see the cracks a little better, but I don't know. I laid it on thick just because I was hoping to get uneven cracks. But as I laid it on, this stuff is real goopy. Like when you're scooping it out of the little pot, it sticks to itself pretty good. And once I laid it down, even though I had it in I did have it uneven at certain points, it flattened out. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do that on everything. I'm going to try it with different stuff, like different bases and different techniques. But it like self-flattened, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of like it was like a layer of glue almost. I mean, again, we got the cracks, you know, but once I lay down the wash, I don't know if you're going to see these that well because like the Xandri dust already, and I did it lightly, the Xandri dust is already filling it up. So I'm hoping it's not that bad, but it did actually cover the grass. You can see these big old chunks, not the grass, but the sand. I actually put it on some of the sand on accident, and that left nice, big, uneven chunks. So I'm going to try that again with something else. Just maybe put some grass, some sand texture down and see how that comes. Like I said, that looks pretty cool. That's what I was hoping for. So we'll see. We'll try it again on something else and we'll keep practicing. All right, guys. Okay, I just wanted to show you real quick where I'm at with the statue. I've got some flock and some tufts of grass on his base. I got the brown in there. I got to draw the wood paneling because this is just solid card, so I wanted to put some lines in to make it look like wood paneling. So hopefully we'll get to see that next. All right, so a lot of cutting and trimming and cutting and trimming and cutting and more trimming, and here it is. It's done. It sits together just like it did before. It's not as slippery because of the cardboard or the whatever. I don't know, you know what I'm saying. Chipboard. And it all comes apart just like before. And everything's on its base, you know, and it all, like I said, it slides together and works fine. And now these guys are not as wibbly wobbly. That's a full bottle there, so not bad. Now I have to get, I gotta sand everything, so this is probably going to eat up all my sand, so I'm going to have to probably get some more. But I'm going to put some slates, some small slates, some sand. And I'm going to try and find, go through my bits, bags, and bins and see if I can throw some stuff on there just to kind of like dress up the outside a little bit. I don't want to go too far, you know what I mean? I just wanted to, just a little bit, little pepper, you know what I mean? But that's it. There you go. It's almost done. Okay, so here we are. This is just the first coat of Gryph-hound Orange contrast. And it makes everything like really shiny. So it's like, for me, it's harder to see the cracks. They're there. I know they are. You know what I'm saying? But it's getting filled. They're getting filled in almost. You know what I'm saying? And I tried to do a thinner coat, but you can see it's like still filling up. So what I did this time is I did the Xandri dust, then I gave it a heavy dry brush on most areas with Ushabti bone, and then I used this paint, Reaper Masters series linen white, and just dry brush the edges because I wanted it to, if you can see, they're lighter here. I wanted them to stand out. You see? I'm gonna dry brush it anyway, but like I said, this is where I'm at. I gotta add some blood red contrast. I'm gonna put some blood red in here, probably some right here, and then a lot on the sides. As you can see, there's a lot of spots that the orange didn't get. So I'm just going to go in there and dab it. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, we're going to get in there and get it all taken care of. And then eventually I'll get to the skulls and the Terminator helmet and stuff like that. But, all right, I'll keep you guys posted. All right, so it's 48 degrees out here, but it's just good enough to get some spray on. I mean, it's nice and dry out, so it really didn't hurt too much. I'm a little cold, you know, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry, and hopefully it won't crack. But even if it does, it's orky terrain, so I can pretty much paint over it. But now, this is the Octarius terrain set and the Speed Freaks terrain set. So I got extra walls, extra rubble piles, and things like that. 2 of these, you know. And then I got all this stuff primed, and I used up a little because I realized once I was done with the brown, I didn't have any left. So I just a little bit on top of here and in the tank, and I didn't have enough, so it was gray. So I just hit it with a little bit of light gray primer so I could just have something to paint on. I missed the spots pretty much where I held the pieces, so there's like a little, but that's the cardboard, so it doesn't matter, that's gonna get sanded over anyway. And I did this before I sanded because I'm gonna paint that orange like Martian terrain, you know what I mean? So there you go, man. That's, ooh, it smells strong. But I used a Rust-Oleum camouflage brown because I realized that on my the original terrain that I got from Speed Freaks, that's what I did. You know what I mean? It came brown, but I sprayed it with that brown, and then I tagged it with some, it looks like I tagged it with a little bit of Xandri dust. Might have been like the last of the can or something. But you can see like the new pieces, they're printed in gray, where the old ones were printed in brown, the original ones were printed in brown. So, like I said, I got that done. So that's a pretty good size bit of terrain for orcs. There's a couple more pieces I'd like to get. I want to get the Big Ed Boss bunker, and I want to get the I still want to get the MechBoy workshop. It's probably hopeless at this point, just because of what people are charging for it, because they know it's out of print. So I mean, it is what it is. If I get lucky, I'll grab one. If not, then it'll just be one of those pieces I never got. But all right, that's that piece for now, those pieces for now, and then who knows, maybe I'll get inspired and just throw some paint on it, you know what I mean? All right, see you in a bit. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the base situation. I had finished all the buggy bases and the bases for all the figures in the combat patrol, but I had forgotten that I had 6 bikes and I had to do their bases. So I worked on these. They're almost done. Maybe a little bit of cleanup in certain spots, like right there. Yeah, pretty done, pretty close to done. The crackle paint did come out good on this, but this is a flat surface, so it kind of shined up a little bit. There was 3 bases with rubble on it and 3 bases with just road. So I tried to get as much of the little details in as I could. I don't want it to be overwhelming. But yeah, there we go. 6 biker bases. Almost ready for the model and some varnish. Alright guys, we'll see you soon. Okay, so I had the chance to get out and prime some of the bits for the knight that I'm building. There's parts of it from the Canis Rex knight, but there's also special bits to make it a Space Wolves knight. So here I've got all the standard armor and weapon stuff. You know, this is just the basic stuff. And then over here I got all the Space Wolf stuff. So we got knee pads. We've got, this is just a gauntlet cover with the, with a claw from, I can't remember his name, one of the dreadnoughts, but he's one of the named dreadnoughts from the Space Wolves. So I took that claw and I put it on there. We've got the shoulder pads, and this one has the grooves for like the Grey Hunters. At least that's what I've seen them painted as. You could probably do it as other colors too. And then this one has just a ribbon, which is kind of cool, and kind of blank space that kind of do what you want. If you want to, you could probably put a Space Wolf head there, which is probably what I'm gonna do, is like yellow with the black head, the Ragnar, and it's got the cool wolf motif around the shoulder trim, which is really, really cool, you know. And it's on both sides, so it's kind of cool, you know. We've got the frost cannon that comes on one of the or in the flyers, the Space Wolf flyer, Stormfang or something like that. I can't remember what exactly it was. Yeah, this was just, there's no rules for this, but I could probably use this as a replacement for this in the Night Perceptor build. I could, you know, this is like the las something, this is las cannon, or a special las cannon, but I could probably use the rules for this and just use that instead, because that's, you know, it's just Space Wolfy. It's very cool. And here's the head. So now that they're primed, I'm going to try and get some paint on them, and eventually get some paint on him, because I got a lot of other projects ahead of him. But I apologize for the camera not focusing as much, but there you go, man. That is a Space Wolf Knight. Oh, and his feet are actually different. Those are Space Wolf, or it came with a Space Wolf kit. They actually had the studs on them and stuff like that. And the toes are not, they're not like a cross, like just a regular cross pattern, like regular Knight toes. This has the one in the back. See, and then it's got the 3 up front, like pointing forward. Kind of like the Forge World dreadnoughts, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, the old Forge World ones had the toes all up front too, like this, as opposed to straight across, you know. But yeah, so we're gonna get him all spruced up and ready to battle some orcs or something. I threw on some little brass etching there, just because it looks like one of the Space Wolf symbols, and then obviously the Imperial with the skull, you know, because this is just a regular Knight armor shell. I'm surprised they didn't. Usually when you get kits like this, they usually come with a carapace, but this one didn't. Not, you can't, they don't make a Space Wolf carapace. I'm not saying that I got robbed. They just don't make one, which is, like I said, I thought that was interesting. But, you know, nonetheless, when you see it, you're going to recognize it and say, okay, that's a cool Space Wolf Knight. That's not just a regular Knight. I mean, it will be a regular Knight, but it'll look like a Space Wolf Knight. All right, so here's the base again, the truck base, and this is after adding Blood Angel's red contrast into the recesses, or at least the bigger grooves. And I did this with all the other buggy bases too. I kind of like just went around some of the structures, you know, just so it would highlight it a little bit more. And in there, you know, I put them in the recesses. Obviously here there's still spots that are missed because, like I said, cork is like, it's fickle, but whatever, it'll work. So yeah, not bad. Next I will do the dry brushing, all the top height, like the bright orange dry brushing. See if I can bring this up a bit, you know. And then after that, it's just the details, like the skulls, the helmet. I kind of want to do this rock in a different color too. I might do that in this one too. These two are like slates, so I might do them in a different color, but I don't know, we'll see. We want to at least have it match the rest of the army, so we will see. There you go. Truck base almost done. All right, that's the Mercurius Solar Orange dry brushed on. It made a bit of a difference, not too much. I mean, I guess I could go another coat or a lighter coat of something, but you know, I want to get this done. I don't want to be spending too much time on this, but I just did the edges. It's really hard to see on the camera, but I did all the edges. Hopefully it'll show up in pictures. We'll see. It's a little bit blended better with the red, between the red and the orange. So here we go. All right, the last thing to do is the details, and obviously the rim of the base, but the skulls and the Terminator helmet, and probably the rocks. I'll probably do a little something with these two slate stones because I kind of want them to stand out a little bit over the rest. So, all right, we'll be back. So I had some leftover orange paint, and I wound up mixing it with some. This is an old pot of the Martian iron earth. It was all the sticky stuff at the bottom, so I just mixed in a little bit of medium and a lot of water, and just it's pretty much like watery now. So I use it for like recess stuff, you know, like recess shading. But mixed it up, and then I just kind of like brushed it all over, you know, the orc scenery. It didn't need to be completely covered. I just needed it to be in there and on some of the recesses and stuff like that, and kind of seep in, because I'm going to dry brush over that. I'm going to paint over some of it and dry brush over the rest. But yeah, I figured I had the extra stuff, might as well, and I just dunked some water in there and just let it run. And this was real runny. Putting it on, it dried because it was so thin. It dried pretty fast, so that's kind of nice. But like I said, I'm gonna dry brush over a lot of this stuff with some metallics, and I will probably paint over certain panels completely, you know, and stuff complete, like these glyphs. I'll be painting over those completely, but I just threw the orange and red on there because I just wanted stuff to have some rust, some semblance of rust, even though it's like a desert. But yeah, there you go. All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, gang, so there you go, man. You can see it's been a busy month. Where my fancy does now. Almost time to eat. I just wanted to say, you know, I've been very grateful for being able to do all this stuff again, and you know, because of my meds and all this other stuff, my hands don't shake as much. So I've been able to paint, and I'm practicing on the big stuff first. You know, you always want to do it seems more intimidating, but it's not. You do the bigger models first to get your teeth cut, or to dip your toes in the pool, so to say. And you'll find that it's a lot easier to paint those bigger models and get those details right than when you get down to the small miniatures. So I have a ton of miniatures to paint. I mean, I am getting the orcs done and stuff like that. So I'm kind of doing both, but the bigger models are really helping get my hand and brush coordination down, right? Because the control is the most important thing, is brush control, right? Like, it doesn't matter how fast you paint. I don't fast is nothing to me. I'm gonna tell you a little secret, but control is more important. It's better to put the colors where they belong and make sure it's nice and clean than to get it done quick, and when you look back at it and it's a mess. You know, and I know a lot of people who show me models and they're like, yeah, I'm really happy with this, or I'm really proud with this. And that's a really good defensive statement, right? Like, if someone says to you, here's my model, what do you think? I'm really proud of how it turned out. You can't really give them your honest opinion, can you? You can't really say, well, this is what I think needs to be worked on, if you're interested in my opinion, especially me, because I criticize, you know what I'm saying? I criticize myself 100 times more than I'll criticize anybody else. Believe me when I tell you this. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't push yourself, you don't get better, period. That's just the way it is. Work is challenging, any type of work. The more you push, the better you get. But anyway, you know, someone told me a long time ago, one of my trainers told me a long time ago, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. When you get brush control down, everything else will come into play, and it will happen faster, and you'll be able to burn through miniatures faster than you thought before, and they'll be cleaner, they'll be neater, there'll be less workup or cleanup to do. But that's just a quick thing. Anyway, it was a great month for me. I got a lot of stuff primered, I got a lot of stuff started. That fortress is one of the bigger pieces, but I'm so happy that I got it that far, because now it's getting colder, and I can really go to town with the painting and the brushing and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do your traditional orc fortress either, so it's gonna be more Mad Maxy. So, you know, just look out for the next one, and hopefully I'll have enough work to put into December's vlog. You know what I mean? If I can get one done. If I can't, I'll shoot for January, and I apologize. But this has been really fun for me. This has really been cool, because I kind of like giving you guys a step-by-step of what I'm doing. And if you guys are interested in more stuff like this, please let me know in the comments, you know, below. If not, I'm gonna still record them, and I'll put them in a file, and hopefully make a get a Patreon or something. I don't know, whatever. I'll do something with them because I kind of like doing this. So we'll see. But there you go. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And again, happy Thanksgiving for those who celebrate, and for those who don't, I hope that you're happy. You're with your families and your friends, and you're sharing a moment of closeness. Because for me, this year is a gift. It's been a gift for me. So I'm grateful to even be here. All right, guys. As always, business. Like, subscribe, share. Please share. Please, if you don't have to like if you don't want to. I mean, even subscribing, it's up to you. But share if you're interested in this stuff or whatever I have to say. Just share it. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.